I feel like, yeah.
Alright, we should be live now.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Sword Brothers. Um, First session, rather, I should say. A Myfarog campaign with standard rules, but we are going to be using the criticals table from the Coming. Um, Without further ado, I suppose I'll introduce the setting. This is based off of essentially the Varangians from the Byzantine Empire. Essentially, I have created a Byzantine Empire analog to put somewhere south of Thule, and it is called the Mikhailan Empire, or Mikhailis. Our heroes have decided to journey there um, and become mercenaries, but our heroes haven't met yet. They are converging on the city of Heisted in Prothenio in order to receive the blessing of a powerful artifact called the Stone of Destiny. And Lubin's got his mask, I see. I wrote a little description of the journey to the city of Heisted, if anyone would like to hear that.
Sure.
All right. The vicinity of Heisted is as much of Thule is. Old-growth wilderness interspersed with permacultural acreages surrounding modest cottages or huts. Some of these yards are walled in, most are not. As one comes closer to the great stead, one enters a vast clearing and smells the briny, burning sea, whose waves wash against the shore only a mile to the east. The west is an elevated sloping plateau. From the entrance to this clearing, one can just make out the suburbs of the city. Clusters of wattle and daub huts, each a fair distance from one another outside of the city walls. Entering the suburbs, which are also populated by gardens, stables, and shops, the ancient wooden palisade, overgrown with vines and moss, comes into view. A warrior greets you from atop the gate as you enter, and the press of many buildings of stone and thatch crowds the winding streets. Now, I'll just so as you guys make your way to the city center to um, present, there is this great crowd um, gathered in the city center, and uh, in the middle are some some men, middle-aged and old, who are engaged in passionate debate. Um, I'll have everyone introduce their characters, say your name and what you look like.
Let's see.
So who's gonna go first?
Um, I can roll a die.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm good to go first if nobody else wants to.
Jeremy goes first. The dice have spoken.
Okay.
Okay. So I will be playing the role of Petronius. He is a high man, a warrior. He is a ex-bard of Freyr, and how that came about is he, or rather, how he lost his bard status is he became a bit too fond of the old Cometian courage, and he became a bit of a drunk. And the story goes, at one point he had forced himself upon a woman, and was stripped of his bard status and outlawed. And after his stint in exile, he decided to no longer able to serve his patron deity, has decided to become a warrior to regain his lost honor. Now, a brief how Petronius looks. If you if you've heard of the band Typo Negative, their late frontman Peter Steele is basically who he is based off of, with a few differences. Um, but a long answer, Petronius is a very large man. He is 7 feet tall and probably about 300 pounds. And he has, he has very piercing blue eyes and very long hair, which he has concocted some way to dye black to make himself appear more menacing, I suppose. So that's in a nutshell Petronius.
All right. And I can roll to determine who goes next again, if we would like.
Sure.
I like it.
If we've already started, yeah, let's keep this up.
Yeah. That'll be Lubin.
Okay. So my character is Vornir. His race is half elf. He is average sized, so he's in centimeters, 175 centimeters, which would be like 6 feet, six foot, I think, something like that. 21 years old, level 1. His character role is a bard of Vidar, and he doesn't really excel much in fighting, except in melee fighting. His missile is very terrible, and that's statistically how he would appear. But in terms of like his features, he has quite a chiseled face, very like sharp lines kind of divide all the sides of his face, and his eyebrows are very furrowed and quite thick and hairy, and his gaze is somewhat animalistic. It almost seems like a wolf is staring at you when he looks at you. And that's also his totem animal, or well, at least that's his pelt and what he wants one day to be his totem animal, but he still hasn't managed to, best this beast in a battle and take its life force. But that's one of his main goals going forward into his life. And all that for the in honor of his favorite god Vidar, who he is very well versed in. He knows much about him and sings and praises and songs in his name whenever the occasion presents itself, usually on religious festivals and other such gatherings of many people.
And that brings us to Eve, if you'd like to introduce your character.
For sure. My character is Anzo Fjall. His name means giant mountain. He's about 7 foot, 7'1", about the same size as Jeremy's character. He's 530 pounds. He's a very, very large character. He's a Thulean warrior as well. Probably around 16 years of age, he was wrestling some of the older adults in the village that he was in. And he goes for quite a big long walks on the local mountain in his hometown as well. I think that was Bearskin in Arulia. Other than that, he's got blonde hair. It's kind of done up in a braid at the back. And his kind of got a goatee that comes down in a long braid as well. But he's a rather intimidating person with a rather bad temper.
All right. So this collection of folks makes their way into the crowd with, I would imagine in the case of Anso, definitely some difficulty given his great bulk. And as I said, the older men of Highstead are ferociously debating, and I'd like everyone to make a perception check. You can use physical dice or the dice roller we have in the server.
perception. Let's see.
Well, I got a 17, but if anybody has a higher than that, they're welcome to.
I got an 11.
Anzo rolled a 6, so he's really more focused on trying to get through the crowd than anything at this point.
That makes sense, yeah. Everyone except for Anso kind of gathers that essentially what has occurred is that there was a Mikhailan diplomat by the name of Theophilos Macedon, and he was sailing under guard to Highstead with a delegation from the Emperor Herakleios IV. You don't have to remember these names, by the way.
Haha.
But if you do, then they will come up later. However, he was waylaid and captured by Arbayan pirates and is being held for ransom on a small island off the coast of Highstead called Bone Island. Off the coast of Parthenio. It's about 4 hours away by ship. And Petronius would know that, seeing as he is from Parthenio. Now, the Empire has decided to pay the ransom, but a small number of the kings and chiefs assembled here are of the opinion that adventurers should be sent to rescue the diplomat.
I see. So they chose the honorable way rather than the easy way.
Well, it seems the majority of the people talking are in favor of just letting the ransom go through. However, there's still time. What would everyone like to do?
I would like to turn to my comrades. Wait, do I know?
You don't know them yet.
Okay.
You don't know them yet.
I don't know them, but I know what I would like to do. Does anybody know what they would like to do?
Absolutely. Anzo's kind of sick of wading through this crowd, and some little gentleman has run into him. So he's going to yell, "Out of my way!" as loud as he can. And he's going to notice another rather, I guess, large-looking figure in the crowd, which would probably be Jeremy's character. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but
Petronius.
Petronius, yes. Yeah, I'll notice Petronius as being like the only other 7-foot person in the crowd, and I'll just look over and kind of give him a nod. Like we're rather tall, and we need quite a bit more room. These people should be a little more respectful of us.
Oh, by the way, if Petronius would like to make World Lore to see if he can recognize any of the people arguing, he can do that.
Sure. That is a 10, so probably not.
No, you don't recognize anyone. As I recall, you aren't from Highstead, but you are from Parthenio.
Yes, I'm. Yeah, it's I've probably, obviously since Freyr is the most popular deity in the Parthenio region, he's probably done some done quite a bit of traveling amongst the lands, spreading the good word of Freyr. But since he's been kind of, he's been exiled and, stripped of his role, he's probably hasn't, isn't very well remembered, and that's probably perhaps a good thing, or as far as he's aware.
Yeah.
So for the most part, he's just kind of, he's standing kind of stoically, and of course he sees Eve's character. It's kind of hard to miss someone that is equal his stature but much wider. So he probably kind of looks at him in a little bit of disgust, but he just kind of like gives him this very I guess, kind of stern look because of how brash he is. With like pushing his way through the crowd and yelling and all that, but doesn't really say a word about it.
All right. Is I had to look at my notes already. Is Vornir doing it?
Vornir. Yeah, he's gonna put on the pelt on his head like this, and he's gonna go, "Oh!" And then he's gonna
And what purpose does this serve?
to draw attention to himself, and then he's gonna run around
All right.
on all fours like this, and then he's gonna start going around this envoy. Was he the guy with the delegation? He's gonna start like sniffing like a dog, and then he's gonna like turn around and address the people and say, "He's so weak that we need to pay tribute to Arby's, or shall we fight them? What say you?"
One of the people who he's wearing a crown, so he's obviously the king of a tribe, and he's physically a little bit infirm, and he's leaning back in a chair, and he says, "Weak? Oh, there is no shame in weakness. It is sense that we have."
And what sense is there in paying inferiors instead of making them pay us?
Sense? Of my 3 sons, 2 were eaten by the eagles. They fell in battle, and their bodies were scooped up by the carrion birds. I will not see another man consigned to the fate of a father who has lost 2 sons.
Then I suggest myself for this quest. I'm not your son, but I can take the Arby's. I can take the Arby's that this man wants to pay, and I can bring back what they've stolen.
The pirates on Bone Island, by last count, numbered 20. They waylaid and cut down a delegation by this powerful faraway kingdom of Miklagard, which I should mention is what the lands call Mikhailas. I should have mentioned that. What makes you think you can take them on alone?
Because I have the power of gods aiding me, assisting me. My god Vidar will help the brave and will join me in my fight, and we together will be victorious.
There is a rather portly lesser man also in a chair. He's got this long graying beard, and he's wearing Thulean garb though, and he also appears to be a king. And he says, "I learned that the gods help those who help themselves. As I see it, if we can get together some adventurers to go slay those dogs, then so be it. We will pay the denizens of Miklagard back in their own coin."
So I guess Anzo's probably worked his way through the crowd. Has he overheard this at all?
Yeah.
Okay, he'll look over at Lubin's character, and
Vornir.
he will Vornir. He'll look over and he'll say, "And you, brave little wolf, you would go into battle.
I will, and I will kill.
He's gonna just let out a big bellowous chuckle, and you'll say, "Aye, I'll go with. I like his spirit."
Petronius will also step forward and he will tap the handle of his Dane axe on the ground, and he will say, "I will go. I will go too. I have fallen out of favor of my patron deity as a bard. Now that I am no longer an outlaw, I seek to regain my lost honor. And what better way to do that than this?"
One of the chiefs assembled here says, "I have a warship. My sons crew it. We'll sail you there." And the rather infirm old king who spoke up first, he says, "It is settled then, and we are of one mind. I wish you good fortune and good haminya." Now,
Hail to you and
here's
your
the question.
sons. May the wind fill
So
our
here's the
sails as
question.
we travel.
So would you guys like to say? Oh, I should mention. So it's about noon right now, and the journey to Bone Island, as Petronius would know, is about 4 hours by sea. So would you guys like to go immediately, or wait until by the time you get there it will be nightfall?
Well, Petronius himself has really nothing to lose or gain right now, or well, he has a lot to gain but nothing really to lose, so he's personally fine with, going, setting sail immediately. He presently has a very modest, supply of materials, but you can't really, again, he has a water skin, some torches, a sleeping mat, and his lyre from his time as a bard, of course. But he himself is just fine with heading to Bone Island immediately.
Yeah, Anzo's rather headstrong. He'd probably be inclined to head out right away. I mean, if we do hit any kind of patches in bad weather or anything like that, it's probably advantageous to have the head start. But he's not the head sailor here. He's open to any suggestions.
So Ambar,
Take us.
as you're
I would
conversing
like
with him,
to. Yeah, I would like to look around and say, take me, man, to your crew. Let me see the captain. Let me see the mates. I want to speak to them.
I'd be the captain.
Oh, then, my captain, would you not agree that if we approach the shore at dawn, before the light of daybreak is to be born, we might have an advantage? As I speak in rhymes,
Certainly.
I'm gonna give him like a little, like that look, and suggest to him that the element of surprise might be the difference between our success or our demise.
You'd certainly know about the elements of surprise, wouldn't
That
you?
is true. I have studied many ways to shock my adversaries.
All right. So, some of us are in favor of heading out such that you would arrive before dawn, and some people just want to head out immediately. I'll say,
I am of the former.
yeah. So Ambar, he's of the opinion that just striking at night would be, and he'll let you know this, would be advantageous, especially since you're probably going to be outnumbered. But I'll say, is anyone swayed by Vornir's argument?
I guess one sort of like afterthought that maybe Petronius has is that I guess due to a bit of a an oversight on my part that I didn't like write down how much money he has. So I'm just gonna assume that he's basically completely broke, and also he's an alcoholic. So he's probably gonna want to find a way to get some of the Cometian courage in him, or at least on his person for the journey.
Yeah. Ambar, he says, well, if that be your concern, we do have some grog on board.
Ha! That's the least of our worries.
It's nothing too good, but it'll, as they say, 1 is bad, 2 goes to your head, 3 and you're in bed.
Precisely so. And if courage is what you seek, I know a song to inspire you and make you battle ready.
I know many many melodies, and I've in my time as an outlaw, I've often taken to like rotten and fermented fruits to make do with my with some of the what some people would call Cometian courage. So this grog that you speak of could not possibly be that bad.
I suppose. I'll tell you what. We can head out now, and we can sail around the island for as long as we need to. If we keep out of the range where they can see us. We have a looking glass, so we'll be able to see them from further than they'll be able to see with the naked eye.
Sounds good to Vornir. But who is our crew? Vornir? And what about this man with the taste for Cometian courage? What is your name?
My name is Petronius.
And you were a bard once.
Formerly, regrettably, he kind of looks down, like in a way, kind of like in a shameful fashion.
There's no shame in it, man. You've made it. You've saved your soul from the liquid. For now.
My burden is not on the fact that I lean heavily on the Cometian courage. I do not wish to discuss the matter further.
So be it. And I will not inquire anymore. But I will greet you as Tulean. Heil.
He gives the salute back and says, "Hail."
And is Anso going to just remain quiet through all of this?
Yeah, he's been steadily listening to the conversation, but he's just I guess he's not sure what to make of that situation. He's kind of questioning what it could have been that led to such a shameful moment for Petronius there. So he's just gonna kind of raise an eyebrow a little bit and then think better of it and just kind of go back to his himself.
All right, and so Ambar is going to ask at this point, is everyone ready to go? Like I said, we can sail around the island for as long as we want.
Yes, Vorner is ready.
All right. Is Anso?
Yeah, Anzo's definitely ready. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
All right. So the journey is pretty rough. They're quite choppy seas, and I'm going to. So at one point, one of Ambar's sons goes overboard, and Ambar shouts to you guys, shouts to you to man the sail while he goes overboard to swim and get him. So, whoever would like to can make a seafaring check.
I think I will. I think Vorner will disclose that his abilities are inferior to the ones that have been trained in such.
Seamanship or swimming, just to clarify.
I believe he said seamanship.
Okay.
Yep, seamanship.
Yep, I can roll it if you guys want.
Yes.
Uh-oh, that's
Yeah, that's not good.
3.
That is a 3.
Oh my God, Ansush.
Petronius is gonna give it a shot.
We're all gonna do it, I guess.
That's no better. That's a 4.
That's a little better.
Yeah, a little. Let's see what Vorner can muster. This is a -5, right? If you're untrained.
If you're untrained, yeah.
Luckily, I got +3 int, so it's only a -2 for me. A 9.
Good thing I was only looking for an 8 then.
Oh.
So you are just able to keep the ship stabilized, and Ambar gets his son back aboard, and he says to you, "If not for that effort, Vornir, I think we would have had to make an emergency landing on Bone Island, and I think we all know how that would go."
I certainly gave it my best, but I'm not the man for this job.
You did good for someone who's never sailed before, by the looks of it. Now,
Thank the gods.
as you guys are approaching Bone Island, so Ambar has his essentially like a primitive telescope, and he's looking through it, and he says after about a minute, "I count 6 of them on that island." Which is, then again, a lot less than we thought.
Vorner will lick his lips.
That's 6.
I saw
as
that,
we
yeah.
can see.
Yep.
There could be
My
more.
bloodthirst.
The Etin is in the details, as one might say.
You say you saw 6 of them.
6 of them on the beach, yes.
And what were they doing?
One of them is up in a ship's mast keeping watch. The ship is haphazardly docked. Not even docked, just beached. One of them was giving orders. The others were fixing a tent.
I think we should keep a close eye on them. But I don't know if we should strike. What do you say, Captain?
Well, Bone Island. So most of the coast is cliffs, but there's this stretch, and that's what I'm looking at now. And that stretch of it is beach. So there's only really one way in, at least one easy way. Therefore, the only way to catch them by surprise is either to go over the cliffs or to go at night.
Shall we wait for the guise of darkness to conceal our presence, or should we charge with light's brilliance? A good question. I will ask the deities.
I think perhaps night might be best,
It
even though there's less. We're still a little bit outnumbered. I know it's not the most Thulean way of combat, but perhaps this might be beneficial to us.
It isn't particularly Thulean to. Sorry, what was that?
Petronius says a surprise attack may be advantageous to us.
Yep. And what I was saying is that it isn't particularly Thulean of these Arbians to have captured a diplomat and be holding him for ransom. So perhaps you have to fight fire with fire.
Yes.
All right. So
Well, I
as
suppose
night begins
we.
to fall,
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
as night begins to fall, if we're all in agreement about waiting for it.
Yeah, that's my preference. Yeah. And the gods have spoken to me, and they said yes.
This will reaffirm Anzo's. All his worries are out the window because someone's told him the gods have definitely blessed us on this, so he's excited.
Petronius will basically feel the same because he would have consulted his deity on the matter himself. But since he is no longer in favor with his deity, it would have done him no good to do so. So as long as he has affirmation from some deity, then he feels a lot better about waiting.
Mm-hmm. It is, I should mention, it is late spring, so night doesn't fall, well, darkness doesn't really come until around 9 or 10 p.m. And so Ambar, he keeps on looking through his telescope and he tells you, he gives you regular updates throughout the day. It seems there was a lot of drinking during the evening, and now everyone's sort of settled down into the tents.
Just a curious question: how big is this ship that we're
on? So a warship. I know it has a price for them in here, but I don't know if it says what size they are. I would imagine like a Viking longship or longship.
It's a warship. It says 100 feet, capacity of 9 cargoes. So I would imagine it's a fairly large.
100 feet's Pretty large, man.
Yeah.
That's good. All the more space for our loot. Ha.
Yeah. So yeah, Petronius has definitely partaken in some of the grog that is on board the ship, and it's soothed his nerves more.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of like probably sitting against like the back of the ship. Obviously has his Dane axe in hand. Just watching the waves like in the ocean.
All right. When night falls, Ambar gives you a final assessment and says, so there is one pirate in the crow's nest of that ship that's beached. He isn't moving, so it looks like he's asleep. Everyone else is in their tents. Are you ready to go?
Aye, aye, my captain. At your signal, and at your service.
I am ready, Petronius says, and stands up, gripping his axe tightly.
Yes. Upon seeing that, I'll take out both of my hammers and hold them up, as I'm dual wielding 2 hammers, war hammers.
Anzo's very ready with his spear as as the darkness falls. He starts to step forward into the impenetrable darkness.
Is it like
he's ready for battle?
Yeah. No, but I'm curious. Is the moon full, or is it like concealed by clouds? How dark is it?
We got a full moon.
Ah, perfect. The illumination will be good.
Yep.
To see these armies bleed to death. That is by the gods' will.
Now the ship makes his way real close to the shore, and eventually it can't go any further, and so Ambar signals for you all. He wordlessly signals for you all to get out and wade onto the beach.
Okay. And I will. But before I do, I'm gonna pull my trousers kind of up to my knees and jump, so not to get them very wet, if possible.
All right. I'll say everyone make me acrobatics to try not to get too wet, because that is a status effect in Myfarog. For any viewers who might
Yes.
not know. I know we have at least one viewer right now because I linked someone the stream.
Let's do that.
Okay, so
Oof.
Anzo goes splashing into the water with a 6.
And I go
Yep,
splashing in
6
the
will
water
not
with a
save you.
12.
Let's see. Acrobatics. That is Dex. Yeah, I didn't do much better. I got an 8.
All right.
That's me splashing with a
Yeah.
12.
I'm gonna say everyone except for Vornir gets wet, not soaking, but just wet. And
Okay.
if I go combat modifications, let me just make sure I am familiar.
Soaking
with...
wet gives you a negative. Wet doesn't, I don't think.
Oh, okay. Soaking
That's,
then. There
yeah,
you
so
go.
if,
So
Yeah.
we're soaking wet now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's fine.
You did get a 6.
I did slightly
Yeah,
better.
I think
but
wet only affects like survival stuff when you're trying to sleep in like cold nights and stuff. But I could be wrong on that.
You're very
Oh
right.
yeah, and
Your
your
intuition
cold
is good.
resistance if you have linen clothes.
That's good intuition. Yes.
All right.
yeah, so yeah,
So
Petronius is probably, cursing to himself. He probably like tripped as he got out of the boat, and he's probably quietly cursing to himself. Probably just mentally beating himself up because that's his self-hating flaw.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
see.
also
Vornir just
Warner is
affixed
putting
his.
on his like he's not a berserker, but he wants to be, one day he wants to have a totem animal, so he puts the pelt that he has on, and he's ready to fight because that's how he fights the honored Vidar and to commemorate his battle with Fenris, the big
I'm
wolf.
very surprised we can actually hear you through that, but
Yes,
pleasantly so.
that's a good thing. Yes.
Uh, so I guess Anso and Petronius probably. It's a bit of a fall to get up from the deck of the ship to the water, so they probably had to break their fall on all fours, whereas Vornir was fine.
Agile like the wolf.
They start to move the 500 plus pounds that is on so gracefully into the water. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he did his best.
He caused a bit of
Yeah.
a wave there.
So like I said, there is the pirate ship with a pirate in the crow's nest. Everyone else is in their tents. Well, everyone except you kind of see way off in the distance there is a pirate coming out of the forest. Everyone make a stealth check to try to not be detected. Or I guess if you don't want to not be detected, you don't have to. But
I'll try to be stealthy.
Stealth, that is.
It's a stealth check, right?
Okay, that is.
Yep.
So for stealth.
Man, this Space Maiden does not like me today. I rolled a 3.
Oh, I rolled a
All
one.
mods in.
Jesus Christ, a one.
I got an 11.
well, good thing. It's a really good thing. This guy got a -2.
I got a one.
Oh, like a natural one?
A
You got
natural
a
one.
fumble?
I got a
Okay,
fumble and I got a natural one.
All right, so everything is going fine. You guys are able to sort of duck down, but then not only does Vornir get like soaking wet as well
Oh shit.
because he ducks way under the water. There's this big splash, and the guy starts. He's sort of walking, like when you get up out of bed and you start walking and you walk a little funny because you just got up. He's walking like that, and he's just slowly coming over to investigate. He's not making any noise or anything. He doesn't appear alarmed. He's just trying to see what's going on. And now he's probably about 5 feet away from the water. And now he sees you guys.
And how
How far away? Yeah, exactly.
away
Exactly. Jeremy's question.
How far away are we from him?
15 feet.
15 feet away. So, I guess since we've been spotted, and probably the best thing to do is take him out at this point.
Well,
All right.
There goes our
He's still a
stuff.
little confused. He's literally scratching his head, and he thinks he's seeing things. So you've got the
Anzo
perfect
will,
opportunity.
yeah, I guess Anzo will see him start approaching the water. He'll pull out a javelin and get ready to throw it, but that's his action at least, or his intended action.
yeah, and Vornir will let out his battle cry and growl.
Now,
He's gonna
before
go.
you do that, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna ask rather. Are you sure Vornir wants to alert everyone in the camp?
Oh shit! Just a growl then, just a growl, not an actual war cry, just a growl. And then he's gonna like take out his hammers and come out of the water and splash water in the eyes of this unsuspecting, suspecting, but kind of sleepy. What is he, Harpy?
He's a lesser man, a pirate.
Oh, lesser man. In this lesser man's eyes, he'll try to splash him with water in his eyes, and he's gonna go for him. That's the action.
All right, and what is Petronius gonna do?
Petronius is going to charge this guy. Since he only has a Dane axe and like a short say axe, he's not really well set up for, ranged combat. So let me find the tape. Let me find the mods for charges. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna charge this guy.
All right, everyone, roll initiative.
Yes. Fantastic. Initiative benefits from dexterity, right?
Yes.
That
okay.
I believe I have a 7.
Oh shit! I rolled the wrong thing.
All right.
Sorry, guys. I rolled a d20 instead of d6. Not bad.
With my ranged and everything, I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 7.
And what did Petronius get again?
A 7.
All right. So Petronius and Petronius and Anso will act simultaneously, right? Wait, Anso, did you add your mod for having a ranged weapon?
I did. I rolled a 10 altogether, actually.
Oh, okay. So it was Vornir and Petronius acting simultaneously.
Correct.
And then Anso goes first, Pirate goes last. So whenever you're ready, you can roll for that javelin.
That's a 19 to hit.
Beautiful. This guy has an AC of, all right. Well, I'm not going to say, but I should have had the table ready. There we go. This is damage +1. Roll it whenever you're ready.
Perfect. I actually rolled the damage while you were looking that up. So I rolled a 6, and that's +1. That'd be 7.
Did you add your strength?
I don't believe I did, but I can definitely do that. That's +2, so that's 9 altogether.
9 altogether.
Yep. And do you want to roll cut and shock as well?
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, I'll roll for an injury. All right. What did you get for cut?
I think that's a 6 for cut altogether. And that should be a 7 for that. Actually, you know what? That's a 5 because of the weapon mod. I believe it has, -1 to cut. So that's a 5 and then a 8.
5 and 8. All right. So just light bleeding then. However, you've also dealt a critical injury. Let's roll that. 12. Blow to body, ruptured kidney, permanent -1 to con. That also reduces health by 1, as we learned from the last session of Fight Them in the Mountains when that killed my character Joseph Breckenridge.
Yeah.
Rip.
Condolences.
He doesn't quite die though. He's still up. Acting simultaneously.
Oh yeah. It's
Well, actually,
up,
which one of you has the higher dex?
I have 13
Which one
dex.
of you has the higher dex?
I have 13. I don't know what the dex of Petronius is, but Vornir's dexterity is
I
13.
have a dex of 10. That's
All right, Vornir goes first.
Okay.
My mistake.
Let me his throat. I'm gonna go and sprint on the beach and smash or try to smash this guy's skull with the hammer, and let's see if I can manage to do that. It's a D20, right? Plus my
Yep.
mods. So my mods are for OVMU when I dual wield a +1. And is he wearing any armor or is he unarmored?
Boiled leather.
Okay, that means that I get a bonus against that, so I get another plus against armored targets. So +2, and my minus for being soaking wet is -1, right? So +1. So my result is a 19. Oh my god, yes.
Again. All right. That'll be damage +2.
Okay, and my damage with the Warhammer is D8 if I'm not mistaken. But I want to check just in case I'm mistaken. And the damage is indeed
I think
D8.
so.
D8, yeah. So let's roll the die and hope for a good roll. +2, right?
Yep.
So I got a
Plus
4.
your strength.
Oh, plus my strength. So. Ah, okay. Well, that means that I don't get any pluses for strength, but I got a 4. Does that do the job?
All right. I believe you said you were trying to crush his skull.
Yeah, I want to crush his skull, split his skull, and
All
watch
right.
the blood
Let's
pour.
just for fun, let's see what injury you gave him because you just got enough to injure him.
Nice.
That's 7. So you struggle for a bit with him, and then you kick his leg out from under him, bring up a hammer, bring it down on his kneecap. There's a great crack, and
Ooh, sweet music to my ears.
and it would appear like you just shattered the bones and severed some arteries. It's
My
bad.
God, this guy must be in pain.
All right. So I suppose there's no real point in going on to Petronius's turn. Has everyone been tracking XP, by the way?
I haven't, but I know that I've done basically 3 things this whole campaign: the sales, the fail for the stealth, and the success for the acrobatics. So I've done and the attack. So 4 things I've done. 4 things.
And you also get 50 for 1 round in combat. Everyone gets that.
Okay, so I've got 200 XP at least.
Yeah. All right. So you've got one guy out of the way, and the tents are a little far back, so most likely nobody heard this because you guys were discreet enough. However, just from that crack, the guy in the crow's nest, he actually starts to stir. So he's going to make a -4 perception check. I want everyone to contest it with stealth.
Sweet. Soaking wet applies to stealth as well.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I got a critical failure. I got a 1 again.
That's a 2 for me as well. After mods.
You guys are like celebrating after the kill, and
Yeah.
I got a 13.
Vornir. What
Yeah.
was that?
I got a 13.
All right, so everyone except for Petronius was celebrating after the kill. I imagine Vornir probably.
Yeah, Vornir was becoming one with the beast inside of him.
Yeah, and well, this guy swears loudly up in the crow's nest, and he's gonna get out his what did I? Yeah, he gets out a javelin, and
Uh-huh.
um, he also gets out his shield, and he throws his javelin at Unso. So he is going to have. I don't think he has any mods.
The illumination
Or
maybe,
he
but
actually has. Yeah, he actually has, because he has a +1, but because it's dark, he has zero +0 to hit.
okay.
He got a 3 anyway, so
Uh,
I
for
don't imagine that hits.
Hanzo's a big gentleman, but that still does not hit. No, he just hears it kind of, I guess, whizzing over his head, and that's still terrifying enough in the dark.
Yep. All right. And this guy, he starts yelling, and I'm gonna have him roll. I'm gonna have him roll. I don't know what it would be, like to try to alert the others.
Like social skills, maybe?
I guess, yeah.
I mean, yelling doesn't take any skill.
Well, he
Yeah,
got
I think
a
it'd be more
got
of
a
a perception on their part, but it's your call completely.
he got a natural 20.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess he kind of raises the alarm well.
Yep, I'm going to roll everyone else into the initiative here quick. Well, actually, since it's a new round, we're gonna re-roll initiative.
Okay.
Oh, I keep rolling d20s instead of d6s for initiative.
Okay.
I did that as well. Don't worry about it.
I got an 8 on the initiative.
All
And
right.
I got a 5. I'll write down.
I got a 7 because I still intend to use a ranged weapon for this round.
Oh, sweet.
All right. So the order then is Petronius, followed by the pirate up in the mast, followed by Vornir.
Okay.
Oh, actually no. Petronius is followed by Unso. Sorry about that. And then after Vornir is everyone else. All right.
Sweet.
So with that, so you guys are not aware that the people in the tent are awake yet. By the way, so
Okay.
so as Petronius can see currently, there's just the guy in the crow's nest.
Okay.
How far away are we from the camp?
I'd say since you guys are right on the edge of the water now, probably a good 40 feet.
Okay. Is there anything that like maybe Petronius could kind of like hide behind, like get like a little bit of cover? There's like maybe like some like a rock formation or something.
I'll say there's this great there's this great boulder, and the sand around it is like recently dug up.
Hey,
So you
so
can hide behind that.
Yeah, Petronius is going to advance like behind the rock.
All right. And will that be all?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that'll be
That's actually better.
my turns. There's really not really anybody to attack, or at least that I could make an attack on. So that'll be my action for the round.
All right. Um, that'll bring us to Anso.
I'll probably do the same. I'll probably get behind the cover and just wait with my javelin ready.
I'm gonna say so.
Or is-
Anso is probably not big enough to get behind it with
Okay,
Petronius.
big enough. That makes sense with
Or
both.
sorry, the rock isn't big enough. The rock isn't big enough.
Fair
That
enough.
man is a mountain.
Okay, how close is the nearest kind of tent, or I guess nearest thing that I can see?
So the guy in the crow's nest, he's roughly 60 feet away.
Yep.
The tents are all about 40 feet away.
And how
I
high up
will-
is this crow's nest, by the way?
Good question.
What was that?
How high up is this crow's nest?
When I said 60 feet, I was including lateral movement.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna close the distance and I guess run basically towards the tent. I think I can close that distance,
All right.
and that's about it.
There are about. Let me check how many tents there are real quick. Sorry. There are. 5 tents. One of them is so there's 5 tents, and then there's also this lean-to that's on the like left side of all of the tents. The tents are all in a big line. So which one do you want to run towards?
I guess I'll run towards one of the tents, but I'll make a note of that lean-to. It doesn't seem as like any thicker than the tents. The tents are probably the more structural building, I imagine, correct? Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll make my way towards the tent.
Yeah,
Whatever's closest. Yep.
The tent in the middle, which is also closest, is about twice the size of the others.
Yeah, I'll make my way to that.
All right. What is your... So how far are you going to move towards it? Like, are you going to go all the way there, go inside?
I'm gonna just basically conceal myself behind it to try and obscure myself from the crow's nest. For now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You do that, and you hear commotion from inside both of the tents adjacent to you. Sounds like someone getting up, grabbing their stuff, you know. That brings us to the guy in the... Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I just said sarcastically. That's always good to hear. Commotion inside the tent.
Yeah. That brings us to the guy in the crow's nest, and since Vornir is the only one who hasn't taken cover yet, he's the next target.
Do your worst.
With a 8 to hit.
8 will not hit Vornir.
I figured, yeah.
He's way too agile for that clumsy shot to even get close to him.
All right, and that brings us to Vornir.
All right, so first thing I want to look at is if this guy that I just shattered his, like, dislocated his kneecaps, does he have weapons?
He's got a short sword and javelins, as well as a shield that he wasn't able to bring to bear.
Okay, I'm gonna get one of his javelins, and I'm going to throw it, if possible, in the same round at the crow's nest. Is that possible?
All right. Yeah, you can do that. Roll it when you're ready.
Okay, so I am, and I will, and let's see. I don't know what kind of mods I've got, but I know I'm soaking wet still, so that's -1. I'm not trained in missile, so that's -2. So altogether, -3. And unless there's some other penalty for the range, I don't know how far away the crow's nest is, but you probably said like 30 feet or something.
I think it should be in range, but I can check.
I mean, if you want to
I
be
know. So
yeah. If you want to be
So
accurate,
the reason I didn't check range is because most of that range is lateral, and the guy in the crow's nest is throwing mostly downward. So this javelin, it has a range of 25 feet. So you are throwing at a minus. I think you're throwing at a -3.
Yeah,
In
I
addition to
figured
the other mods.
that's what I also got. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to get that javelin and kind of with my whole body create a wave of energy that finds its release at my hands. And I'm gonna get a 1. Okay, perfect.
All
I
right.
got a 4. I got a 4, but -3 it's 1. So I don't know if you want to count that as a critical fail or probably not. But hey, it's up to you.
Well, since you also had the -3 from range, in addition to the -3 from missile and soaking wet,
Oh, I got a -3 from
I'm
range
gonna
as
count
well.
that as
Okay.
roll, and I'm gonna say you just throw it up into the air, and I want you to make an acrobatics check to try to not get hit by it on its way down.
Oh, okay. I can imagine what happened then. Uh, imagine if I kill myself.
Like you just throw it straight up,
Yeah.
and then it starts coming down.
Well, that sucks. Luckily, I got a 10.
Yeah, you're good. You dive for cover and you get up.
Well, there goes my valiant attempt.
Happens to the best of us.
That's true.
And then, so, Anso, I actually want you to make me a. Well, actually, did you do anything to try to be stealthy as you approached the tent?
I don't believe I did, no.
In that
Although
case,
under
since
the
you were
cover.
running,
Yep, sorry.
since you were running, and since you are 535 pounds roughly, I'm gonna say you probably made quite a bit of noise. So
That's fair to say, yeah.
this guy comes out of the big tent, and he's in boiled leather like everyone else, and he's got his short sword and his shield out, and he just runs around the corner, and he's gonna try to stab you. So let's see. He's got. Oh boy, that's a lot of OV.
Shit.
That's a 19 to hit.
Oh my god.
That definitely hits, I believe.
What?
I think I have a 14. 14 is my
What's your
DC.
AC?
It's 14.
All right, that's damage +2. Luckily, he only does 3 damage.
Oh.
Okay, yep, that's not enough for a critical, but that's definitely damage.
Now, since you're in melee now, I'll have you know. So when we re-roll initiative for the next round, your size
I won't have that +4.
increases your your size increases.
Oh, my size increases my
initiative.
Beautiful.
It increases your initiative while in melee. It's a big part of why that diabetes barbarian build is super overpowered.
That's a name.
That's first for that name, yeah, but I like it.
All right, and
He was
then
intentionally built with every reason for this, so I love it.
I thought they had good health in 2A. Maybe not.
well, so he does have higher health than probably the both of you put together. Well, not the both of you put together, but he's got definitely higher health than
He's
either.
got pretty high health. That's correct. I think he's got probably some pituitary issues or something that's just made him a very large boy from the age of, I think he's like 21, something like that.
He ate,
21. Yeah, 21.
he ate too many carbs and had too many growth
Too many
hormones.
carbs, yeah.
Yeah.
All
There,
right.
there were some good
Anyway,
seasons in the past in his
Yeah.
area. So
The druids fed him some weird
yeah.
potion experimentally, and he became like huge. To
Yep.
learn steroids.
Oh, I just realized. Okay, so these next three guys, as they emerge from their tents, and they're going to do that simultaneously, um, they're all going to need to make morale checks because they see, well, frankly, I think we all know what they see. They see their captain going after a guy like 5 times his size. Um, so they're going to make morale checks.
That guy is brave.
Let's see. Morale rules are on. Oh, shoot. Where are they?
I will look them up in a second. I know I have +1 to my fright mod, which is help.
Oh, no, I got it. Should be right here. Nope, that's stealth. I went too far.
Page 59, I think.
59. There it is, yeah. All right, so one of them got a. One of them is nervous for D6 minutes. The others are fine. He's nervous for 4 minutes, and that'll give him -1 to all of his checks. So these guys emerge, and one of them is going to go after Petronius.
Okay.
And that's going to be a. So he's going to charge you because he's actually a warrior, so he can do that.
Okay.
And that is going to be. I'm looking at the charging mechanics right now. Looking for them, rather. There we go. He's definitely got the he's got the movement to do it. I'm just okay. So he gets +2 to his OV. Okay. So he's got a 17 to hit.
Yeah, I have a DVME of 13, so yeah, that hits.
All right, damage +1 with a short sword. Gonna be 6 damage.
Okay.
And then cut and shock. I forgot about that for the last attack, but it probably wouldn't have been anything. So cut. Oh boy. Cut is going to be. He gave you medium bleeding.
Okay.
And then for shock, that's nothing. And then was that a critical?
Yeah, that should be a critical.
All right. Nothing. Or sorry, not nothing. I don't know why I said that.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. So you got blow to body, ruptured kidney, permanent -1 mod to con. However, I will let you heal this because I don't really believe in permanent minus mods to your stats.
Okay.
So I'll say it takes like probably a month to recover. So mark that
Permanent
somewhere on
minus
your character
1
sheet.
to con, you said? That's my
Yep.
that's my attribute.
Yeah, the attribute, not the modifier. And that'll heal in 1 month, I'm gonna say, because I'm not gonna give you permanent minuses to your stats.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm not gonna do that this early, because it is, of course, session 1.
Well, anything can happen with
And
the
this will
dice.
bring us to... One is going to go after Vornir. And he's also going to charge. Oh boy, that's a 21 to hit.
21 to hit.
I'm
Charging.
sorry, they're rolling too good.
Okay, 21 to hit, is that that's melee, right?
Yep.
Well, my DVME is 13, so that beats me by 8.
Damage plus 6.
Well, that's already a nice
8 damage.
8. Okay, so that did. I'm left with 2 HP after this attack.
Well, we're gonna do cut and shock. You're gonna, and then probably a critical. Sounds like.
Sounds like it.
This encounter was going to be so much easier in my head.
It's not hard. It's just deadly.
Well, the main thing is like my NPCs are having really good luck. You guys are having kind of crappy luck. And that's gonna be nothing for cut.
The dice are telling a story, guys.
Yep. And stunned for 1 round. Additionally, the injury is leg breaks, light bleeding, and -5 to all movement and combat skills until healed. Stunned for 3 rounds.
My gods, my
Shoot.
gods. Vidar, why have you forsaken me today on the battlefield?
Ah, shoot.
Is there a way?
Anyway,
I can try healing myself because I'm good at healing, but I'm unable to stop healing on my
I'll
own.
let you heal a broken leg, but it'll have a recovery time of at least a week.
Yeah, if I even get to that point. Let's see if I can get to heal myself before I get absolutely wrecked, because I'm stunned right now. So I fall on, the sand, and I lose consciousness for just a second. And as I regain consciousness, I see this man upon me wanting to split my skull open, just like I wanted to split his fallen friend's skull open just seconds earlier.
All right. That brings us to the end of the round. I'm going to re-roll initiative for my guys, and you guys will do the same.
Okie dokie.
I once again have an 8 for initiative.
Does initiative get affected by how much HP you've lost, or is that not a thing?
It does not.
Okay. I got a 5.
And what did Anso get?
I rolled a 5 as well, but if we're including the soaking wet, I actually got a 4.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if we're including the soaking wet, I also have a 4. I don't know if we are.
Petronius, followed by Vornir, followed by Anso, and then all of the pirates after that. So, Petronius, you're up first.
All right, so obviously he's been, wounded by this guy that just, messed up his kidney. So he's going to strike him right back, or at least try to. That's a...
All right.
Let's see, what do I got here? That should be a 9. Probably doesn't hit.
That doesn't quite hit.
Yeah. So he probably just like swings his Dane axe and just like hits the side of this boulder that he's like tried to hide behind.
Yeah. All right. That brings us to Vornir.
I'm stunned, so I cannot. I don't know what stun entails. I don't think I can attack when I'm stunned.
You can move.
I can move. All right.
It's gonna be slow because you have a broken leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really fucked. Okay. Let me think. Let me think a little bit. So I have 2 HP left. I will bleed out in the next 10 minutes without assistance. And
Next 2 minutes, actually.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, with my last, with my dying kind of body losing blood so heavily, I'm going to, before I lose the last remainder of my strength, I will take the javelin that I had. Is there another javelin next to the corpse of his fallen friend, or is it just one that I threw?
There's a couple.
A couple. So I'm gonna reach out for it, and I'm just gonna pretend that I'm dead already, in hopes that this guy
Alright.
leaves me alone, and then
Give me social skills.
social
Would that be
or
more?
acting.
Yeah, I think
Wouldn't that be acting?
would be
Oh,
more-
acting, yeah,
yeah, that'd be
acting.
more
Because
acting.
I'm trained in that, and I'm also gonna think of Vidar and invoke him as I'm doing this maneuver. Please
All
preserve my body, Vidar, at this pivotal moment in my life. I will forever after bring rich sacrifices to your altar. That's what I'm going to say, as I'm in my mind, of course, as I'm trying to be to pretend that I'm dead, of course. And that's 1d20 plus acting takes charisma, and I have +2 to charisma, but I get -1 from my soaking wet. I get also
You're
a
not gonna
minus.
get that from soaking
I'm not gonna get that. All right, so I don't lose
Okay,
my stuff to skills. I don't get -3 to all skills. But that's the severely injured rule. I'm not. Okay, I guess
I'm not
pretending
gonna
to
make
be
you do
dead
that
isn't
either
kind of.
because
Yeah.
you're pretending to be more injured than you are.
Ah, okay. Okay, so do I get a plus or do I? Yeah, I do. Okay, if that falls out, then I do get my plus, which would have been 2. Yeah. Oh yeah, 21. Good. Yes. Very good. So I got
Alright.
21.
You were able to successfully convince him that you are dead, and he moves on, I guess. It isn't his turn yet, though, I suppose. So that brings us to Anso.
How far away is Vornir from Monzo at this moment? I know I kind of ran up ahead of him.
Roughly 45 feet.
Okay.
And you've also got the you've got the big pirate on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm also in melee
Came out of
range.
the
It's,
tent.
yeah, I'm just gonna take an attack with my spear and try and hit the guy in front of me.
All right.
That's a 19, but you also said I get a bonus for my size. I didn't include
No,
that.
that's to initiative. That's to initiative.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, so that's a 19 to hit then.
19. All right. Damage plus 4. You can roll that. Damage plus 4.
That's an 11 altogether.
All right. And if you want to give me cut and shock, I'll roll critical.
Yep. So those will both be -5. So that is a 4 for cut and a 12 for shock. Actually, no, that will be a. That'll also have a -1 from the weapon as well. So that'll be basic math. 4. That'll be 4 for cut.
4 for cut. All right. He's got medium bleeding, and then he's also got, well, more medium bleeding, so it's up to serious from his injury. His hip is
good.
broken, and he gets -8 to all movement and combat skills. He's also knocked down for 5 rounds.
Is that the main leader or leader-looking member?
Yeah,
Okay. Would they need to make morale checks? Anybody there?
yeah,
some
I think
point?
so.
Okay.
I think so. They already made them for just seeing you.
Yep.
But they're gonna.
But they literally
again,
just slayed him with this as this giant beast. Then again, they kind of just also maybe
Yeah.
they think they killed Voronir, so yeah.
I'll have them make morale checks. Yeah. Does anyone here have fright mod?
I don't know
do,
if
actually.
I don't because I'm dead. Oh well, not dead. I'm dying. I'm pretending to be dead.
I
So
don't
I
have
wouldn't-
+1 to my fright mod, but we are outnumbered, so keep that in mind. I think that also affects the mod.
I don't believe I have a fright mod.
Outnumbered does not affect it. No. Well, one of them is actually the one who is fighting Petronius. He runs straight into the forest.
Nice.
The one who is fighting, the one who killed Voronir,
Yeah.
is
Still
going
alive,
to.
baby.
Since it's his turn, he is going to. He can't make a charge because the boulder is in the way, but he is going to go up to Petronius and attack him. And that is going to be a 12 to hit.
That just misses my DV of 13.
All right. That's good. Then the captain, he's got a -8 mod to this attack here against Unso. Well, he's got a -8 from the hip, and then he's also got, or no, he's knocked down, so he can't really do anything. So, guy in the mast, he goes last. The guy in the crow's nest. He's gonna climb down. And then he's going to see what's happened. He's also going to make a morale check, and he's going to ace it. So, no effect to him. Top of the round, everyone roll initiative.
Even me?
No, not you. Sorry.
All right. I thought so because I'm trying to be as, I'm trying to be a fox, although I'm wearing a wolf's belt.
I got a 7.
I rolled a 4.
All right. Order is then going to be Petronius, followed by Unso, followed by all of the pirates.
All right.
I forget, by the way, Petronius, did you do any damage to the one that is now fleeing?
I did not.
Okay.
Okay, is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously he sees the guy that wounded him run off, and then he sees another guy kind of took his place, so he's gonna take a swing at this guy.
All right.
That is a 13 to hit.
Just hits. Damage as is.
It just hits, so like.
Well, it hits. It exceeds his. It exceeds his armor value by 1.
Okay, so it's just regular damage. Okay.
Yep.
D12. And this. Let's see. That is. I rolled an 8. I forget. Is there anything that I add to that for my damage roll?
So you add your strength, then your melee.
I strengthen my melee, so that would be.
And then if you have a talent that gives you a bonus to fighting, like if you have the fighter talent, that gives you a +1. Well, actually, that modifies your melee, so never mind.
Okay, so that would be a 9 for me.
All right. 9 damage. Oh, you don't add your melee skill. I forgot. Oh, I completely whiffed. I thought you were still rolling to hit for some reason. So 9 damage.
Yeah, I add my strength modifier to that because I don't really have.
All right. Roll cut and shock, and then I will roll for a critical. You get a lot of criticals at lower levels, obviously, because nobody's got any health.
Yeah.
Let's see. And do we round down for like uneven numbers, like fractions?
Yeah, round down.
Okay. So for 10.
You can just tell me the numbers you get. You don't have to
That's a
say
6 for. That's a 6 for cut.
Light bleeding.
And that is I rolled a 15 for shock, so that would be nothing, regardless of what the modifier would be.
Now, so bleeding. What happens is, once the bleeding is inflicted, the first point of hit points gets taken away, and also the injury you delivered reduces his health by 1. Ribs fractured, -1 to all movement and combat skills, lose 1 HP. So, your Dane axe slams against his rib cage, breaks them, and he bleeds to death.
Oh, he's dead.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Now, this brings us to Anso. Now, you saw the guy who was attacking Petronius. You saw him run past you. Well, not quite past you. He ran like around the tents. And then the captain, the pirate captain, he's on the ground in front of you. So, and then the guy who was fighting Vornir is now dead. And so the only enemy that remains really is the only enemy that remains who is not on the ground or fleeing is the guy in the crow's nest. That said, if you want to finish off the captain or chase after the fleeing guy, you can do that as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I should probably just end the captain because he's right there.
And he will get up in about five rounds.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do it as I'm here. He's already got a low DV, so I'm going to just take my spear and just try and run him through while he's down. I know it's not the most Thulean thing, but we'll do it. I've already kind of won in combat, so that's how
I won't even make you roll for that. You spit him on your spear, and then, you know, what would be cool, I think, is if you like lifted him up aloft, you know?
Oh,
He
definitely.
probably could.
What do you want to do?
Anzo has the strength for it. He's like a +3, so yeah. He's or maybe not quite that high, but he's definitely he's a strong boy. So yeah, I like that.
Ooh, and you
That's
know
good.
what? You can
The
see
guy
if
who
your weapon.
climbed down from the crow's nest is going to make another morale check,
It's a +2, but
which
yeah.
he's nervous.
Yves, will your weapon break from that? What weapon are you using? A spear?
I'm using a spear right now, yeah.
Maybe the actual spear might break from that.
Spears are pretty tough.
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering.
And this guy, these guys are all like 5'1" or so, and
they're quite
not
small.
all that. A little bit malnourished, so yeah.
Ah, okay.
Now,
Perfect. So if I have any movement, I'll move towards the menacingly with the guy like hanging off the end of the spear. I'll move towards the guy coming down the crow's nest, but that's more of a flavor. I don't think I'm getting very far.
all right.
Yeah.
In very broken Thulean, he as he descends from the crow's nest, he leaps onto the beach, and I'll have him make acrobatics. See how well he does it. And my die drops, so I need to re-roll that. Natural 1, he falls on his face, so he's not going to say anything, actually. And that'll bring us to the top of the round. Now, I will have Vornir roll his initiative, because he will be recovering from his... Well, he'll be getting up this round.
I will. Is it safe?
It's not safe. There's still one enemy, but you... So part of the injury that you got, let me just read it. Blow to leg breaks, light bleeding, and -5 to all movement and combat skills until healed. Stunned for D3 rounds. So you are no longer stunned once it's your turn.
Okay. So I can kind of see that Ansus is busy, and I'm gonna call over to. I'm gonna call Petronius. Petronius, quick, come here. I need your help. Quickly.
So, I guess should I roll to like do I hear him and like kind of like the
Oh shoot, we have to do initiative yet, don't we?
Oh, I've already rolled my initiative. I got a 10 actually.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I may have been the only person who forgot to roll initiative. So And what did everyone else get?
I
I
got a
rolled a
7.
4.
I got a 7. That was like really high.
All right. Order is Petronius, Vornir, Unso, followed by the remaining pirate. So Petronius is up first.
So I'm probably hear what's Lubin's character,
Warner.
Vormir, crying out for him, and he's probably gonna head that way.
All right. He's pretty close. You just have to walk basically just around the boulder.
Okay, so I'm gonna come to his aid and
Petronius. Finally. Reach into my pouch. You'll find a potion there. I trust you know how to use these things. I need somebody to stop the bleeding.
okay.
I'm dying.
He's gonna go into his pouch and find said potion and
Yes, it's actually a weak healing potion.
Okay. So that adds 2 to a heal check, if I recall.
Yeah, that's right. I additionally know a spell of healing as well that I can cast, but I don't know if you can cast spells of healing while somebody is giving you a healing.
I'll let you do it.
Okay. All right, so that's what I would do. I would advise him to use the potion, and then I'm going to start casting my...
do you have bandages?
I should have, but if I don't, then I'll... Oh, I do. I have 5 of them, actually. Yeah, I have 5.
Awesome.
So am I using this healing on him?
Yes, you are. You're healing me.
Okay, so
I think so. I mean, unless you want to do something else, but I think...
Should I... If I'm doing that, should I roll healing, or should I just...
Yeah.
You roll
and
healing,
is Vornir casting his spell?
I'm casting it for myself, but to help him.
Right. So you're getting a total of +4 to your roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if I'm rolling healing.
Also, do you have int on your character?
No. So I'm rolling at a -5.
But with a +4.
So it's.
And also, is the moon being, full effect?
Oh shoot! Yeah, the moon is full. Yeah.
That should be good, right? I hope it is.
I think so.
So I rolled a 19.
Let me see. All right, that's good. But let's see if it's gonna be 20 or 19 instead because of the moon, right?
Actually, so full moon doesn't do anything.
Oh, it doesn't? All right.
Yep. It's just waning or waxing does something.
Oh, okay. So if it's
that is.
Oh, but you can still say that it's full moon that's waning or full moon that's waxing.
I mean.
Yeah, you can say that the moon is growing or decreasing. Depends. It's up to you. Mythmaster's discretion.
Well, regardless, like Jeremy is trying to say, I think it's +4 HP, and then the bleeding stops.
Okay. So.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, so it's a very lucky roll for like a skill that I am not trained in.
Thank God.
Very lucky, yeah.
For bandages, weak healing potion, and my weak spell. Sweet.
In my head, I was concocting a scenario of what's next session gonna be if they lose.
If they die.
No, I was gonna have you guys get captured, and you'll find out why that's even worse than you might think once once these pirates are dispatched. Just
Yeah.
you know that. So that'll bring us to Vornir, who has just been healed. But I'm gonna say
It takes time to heal.
you're directing Petronius in healing you is probably going to
Yeah, I'm saying
take up that turn.
I'm saying to Petronius, yes. Bandage that up, put that there, and hold tight, and I'll apply this ointment that I received from a druid, a friend of mine, and I'll sing the song of healing. And then now I'm coming up with a song. Stop running like a river blood, freeze like the cold rivers during the winter in Thule, and maintain my health.
All right.
And
So
that's going to work.
Unso is up next. So I'll remind you, the only
Yep.
remaining enemy is face planted on the ground, probably 20 feet from you.
Can I charge him? I know that gives me a +2, but that's just charge him when he's on the ground with my spear.
Are
Or
you
does that
gonna
not necessarily make sense?
Are you gonna keep the dead captain on the spear?
Oh right, he stole my spear. No, good question. I guess I will kind of like huck or flick him gently onto the ground, next to this gentleman.
This spear
Like
is
in
like
his general
through him.
direction.
You're gonna have to
okay.
kick
Okay,
him
if this is
off.
gonna take a lot of effort, I'm just gonna leave it in him. He's not worth it right now. I'm gonna take out my curved short sword, and I'm gonna run up to this guy who's on the ground. How far away is he?
About 20 feet.
Okay, so I can easily get to him, and I'm just gonna put my foot kind of on his chest, put my sword to him, and be like, "Talk."
In very broken Thulean, he says, "What you want?"
I want to know what you guys were doing here. I want to know who that guy was, and I point to the guy who was all skewered on my spear still. I imagine he's still kind of impaled off by the corner. And I want some answers now, is basically what I'm going to yell at him. And I'm going to just look over carefully at my comrades and make sure that they're doing okay. I can see that they're probably in the midst of healing. So I'm going to focus my attention back onto this gentleman in front of me.
That was Captain. We are pirates. You know this.
Well, I'm not much fond of pirates. Is there more of you guys, or is it just you?
Oh, please, let me live. Let me live.
Just one ship?
One ship. There were many of us. We attack, and he points over to the lean-to. We attack his ship. And
I see. You got any weapons on you?
There were big guards. And they killed most of us.
Bigger than me? I'm gonna just say jokingly.
No, but big.
All right, get up. Leave your weapons on the ground.
He gets up, and he points over to the boulder, and specifically the sand around it that looked like it was dug up recently. We buried them there. With all their gear. Well,
what were you intending to do after this? Were you just going to continue raiding?
Go back to Arbai, live like king.
Are there going to be more of you guys coming?
There's always more. Not with me, though.
He's just going to have a big frown on his face as Anzo kind of just shoves him a little bit with the tip of his spear towards Vornir and Petronius, just to kind of get him in the general direction. I guess we're just going to take him captive for now, at least until we can establish everything that he knows, or at least verify everything he knows.
So there's somebody or some bodies buried like behind that boulder. That
Basically, right where you're standing, like right under where you are.
and this is in just like sand and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, Petronius is just kind of trying to brush some of the sand away with his hands.
Hanzo's going to get this guy over towards the group, and he's going to get him to just sit cross-legged in the sand, and then he's going to help just unbury a little bit if he can, just to make sure that this
After
story
about
is
a
verified.
minute, Anzo's big hands unearth like one of your fingers goes inside of something, and as you sort of pull your hand back up, it's a skull. Like your finger was in the eye socket. And it
He's just
appears to
gonna
be
look at
a
it for
high
a
map.
second. He's going to look at it for a second, just kind of not saying too much, but then he's going to just drop it in a little bit of disgusting. He's like, well, they weren't kidding, so what do we do with them now?
Actually,
This looks fairly old.
I'll also mention. I'll also mention. These bodies have not been here nearly long enough to decompose to just bone.
Okay, yep.
That's
Yeah, he's
a
definitely
that's
going to drop it a lot faster then.
To confirm your suspicions, your captive says they were delicious.
yeah. Ugh.
Right, so we have some cannibal raiders clearly enjoying themselves here on this beach. Vornir, how are you feeling? Are you conscious or are you with us, buddy?
A couple of seconds ago, I thought I was dead, but now I'm just disgusted that these savages were capable of achieving such a tremendous blow to my body. But
It's okay, young
at least they didn't
possible.
feast on my body. But I
Possum
don't know.
wolf.
Young possible. We will get revenge.
I know.
I love that name. That's your nickname now, Vornir.
Which one?
Possum wolf.
You're now the
Wolf.
possum wolf because you faked death and you came back.
Yeah. They're possums
like
in Thule.
Is that like another kenning?
I think Foxwolf.
Yeah.
Foxwolf maybe, because Fox is
When you're a
famed.
great hero, that will be the canning that skulls used to refer to you.
Yeah. Foxwolf I would take better. But hey, okay. Possum Wolf it is. So I'm still kind of very weak. I need like treat to like yeah, I'm still very weak. I'll need some time.
I kid with you, young Vornir. Just you rest here in the sand. We will get you help.
Yes.
Petronius, how are you feeling? I know you look like you're a little injured there.
Yeah, he kind of looks down at like the wound on his side, and he's like, "I've been better." He says, and just like is kind of like apathetic, and he has a very just like this very deep, like this very deep voice, but he just like says like I've been better, just like he's not, doesn't sound like he's that concerned that he has like this big like gash in his side and he's bleeding.
Anzo's just gonna like nod and kind of chuckle a little bit. He's like, "You're one brave bastard." What shall we do now? Shall we set up a fire?
You should help me! Comes a shout from the lean-to.
I've
been listening this whole time. I've been patient.
Anzo's just gonna stroll over to where this noise is coming from. Is it one? I imagine it's one of the tents that's containing.
It's the lean-to that your captive pointed to, referring to the diplomat.
Oh, lovely. I'm gonna go over and walk over to him. And what do I see? Is this a large gentleman or just a small gentleman?
He's a common man, about average size, and he's hog-tied, in this lean-to.
Is he like hog-tied to like anything, or is he just like bound?
He's just
Like
bound,
okay,
like
so he's not like
the
pegged to the ground or
lean-to
anything.
is leaning against him. The lean-to is leaning against him.
Beautiful. I'm gonna just kind of like lift it off as abruptly as I can and just kind of pick him up and drag him over to the group. I'm not gonna really say anything. I'm just gonna bring him over to the group where the other gentleman's sitting in the sand and Fournier is on the beach,
I'm just
and I'm just gonna
trying to
gently
sleep.
place him down.
The pain is excruciating.
Petronius wants to examine.
Are
some
you
of
guys
these-
pirates too?
No.
No, we are hired men. We were sent to investigate and take care of these pirates.
Oh well. And then he's sort of haphazardly tied, and he's able to reach into his boot, and he gets out a very nice looking dagger and starts cutting his bonds. Does anyone try to stop him?
I can't keep.
I don't necessarily see an issue. Anzo's pretty headstrong. He feels like he could easily take
I'm
this
gonna
common
keep an
man.
eye on him. I'm gonna keep a very close eye on him, but I'm not gonna be able to stop him or anything like that.
He's just gonna watch him do this, and he's gonna, I guess, say to Petronius more so than anybody. He's gonna say, "Question is, do we set up a fire here on the beach and let the ship know that we're safe, or do we hunt down that one guy who got away? I think he ran into the bushes over there." And I kind of point over.
At this point, we have him outnumbered. He will have to come back at some point. Petronius is also going to take a stroll over to one of the tents and like kind of look and see what kind of loot there might be inside. Is that okay?
Okay, so the loot inside of the tents. So there's nothing in most of the tents. However, the big one, you've got. Let me just read this off so I know it's all correct. So, first things first, there is the gifts meant to be presented to the Prethenian kings as part of the delegation, which consists of Mikhailan swords, casks of wine, exotic spices, silk robes, that kind of thing. There's also 16 copper, 4 silver, and 3 gold. This is not part of the gifts. This is like stuff to split between you guys. 1 set of light elf quality scale mail armor, a bronze sword that Vornir and Petronius can see gives off a magical aura, and a half-drunk barrel of ale.
Petronius is going to obviously take a look at the half-drunken thing of ale and also at this scale mail armor.
All right, so the scale mail it's light elf quality. It's very light because of that. Only about 20% of the usual weight, and it's just like it's very good quality, you know. Then the ale, if you were to taste it, it's much worse than it. It's probably the worst ale you've ever had that wasn't of your own making.
Alright, so yeah, he's gonna sample some of the ale, and he's just gonna be like, ugh. And he just kind of tosses it aside. Like, just haphazardly. But he got at least some of the alcohol out of it, out of it. But,
Yeah. By the way, if anyone would like to make a rune lore check on that sword, you're welcome
I
to
don't
do so.
think I will be in range or able to get there without a lot of pain. So I think
Well, I'm sure since you're the resident magic user, someone might bring it to you.
if somebody does bring it to me, I could look at it, but I can't really go up and just walk over there,
yeah,
without
Yeah.
fucking
Does anyone
crying in pain.
bring him the sword?
I'll bring him the sword.
Thank you.
All right, make me rune lore.
Well,
In fact, everyone make me rune lore on that.
I mean, I might fail, yeah. Am I suffering from... Well, I'm not suffering from that anymore, okay. Because I regained, if I recall, 4 hit points. So that puts me at 5. So I'm no longer at 3/4 gone. I'm only at half gone. So my rune lore will be my +2. There you go. Yeah, my results is worse than Ansys. So
Yeah, I rolled an 11, and I think Vornier rolled a 10. So
I rolled a 5.
my result is
Yeah.
much worse than my war
Okay,
mates.
it clearly has runes, but you're not able to see what sort of enchantment it has. So it's probably best to get someone to look at it once you're back in Highstead.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or find out accidentally.
And then how did we want to split all that money? Because I'll remind you there was 3 gold, 4 silver, and 16 copper.
A gold piece for each. And the rest...
yeah, you know what? The gold piece each, you guys can split the silver, and I'll take the copper because I'm not really too concerned as Onzo for money. I think that leaves you guys with 2 silver each, and I get whatever 16. I think it was copper.
Yep.
Okay. 16
fair.
copper is like 1 silver or half a silver?
I think it's like, I don't remember exactly what it is. It's like
60 copper is 1 silver.
Yeah.
That's okay.
20 silver is 1 gold.
So that's a quarter. Okay.
That's okay. I originally had taken quite a bit of a starting silver extra, so if Jeremy was down at the beginning, we're basically more or less even. And if you're a bard, you should probably have a little bit more money just to spend on necessary items.
Yeah, like
Well, I mean, I'm definitely a
clothes.
lot richer than I was before. I basically said that I basically had 0 money because for some whatever reason I didn't write down what my money was.
Yeah.
After buying all my starting gear.
Yeah.
So
I kind of have very little left after my purchases, so I'll gladly welcome this. And so now,
All right.
how should we proceed with this man of common origins?
I guess Anzo was probably watching over while Petronius was taking a look at all the tents. So while this guy was more or less taking out his bonds, he's going to ask him how he was, or how he came to be captured, and why he was left alive when everyone else was more or less slaughtered.
Well, it's like this guy over here, and he gestures to the pirate. Told you, I had about 5 Varangians guarding me. There were about 20 of them, and, well, it was a slaughter on both sides. I was left alive so that I could be ransomed, and as he said, they could go back to Arbai and live like kings.
They will never be kings
I
in my
was-
eyes. Don't you worry. I'll make sure that their kingdom, once my leg heals, is as broken as my damn leg right now.
Petronius kind of chuckles. Else.
I guess I would take whatever bonds were off this guy and kind of tie up the one guy we have captive here.
He doesn't resist.
Okay. So
We're not like you. We're not going to eat you, so you can rest assured here on the beach for a while we figure out what we're going to do, okay?
Thank you.
But if you run, we will skewer you like we did your captain, so.
Fair.
So Petronius is gonna try and like attempt to put on the scale mail armor.
All right.
Just
That
to-
takes a few minutes, but it's very good armor. Fits like a glove.
Whoever made this armor obviously made it for a very large man like myself.
Hence why the pirates weren't wearing it, obviously.
Okay, so that
Oh, by the way, if anyone needs a helmet, all of the pirates were wearing helmets.
yeah, I'll take a helmet too.
Yeah, it's going to take Anzo a little bit to find one that's big enough for his head, but he'll find one that just fits, and he's going to be rather happy with that. And then he's going to go pull his spear out of the captain now that it's no longer
Oh wait, I
a
already had a
dire
helmet.
situation.
So never mind, I already had a helmet.
All right. And that brings us to, I suppose, the fate of the guy who ran. So what do you guys want to do with that?
I beg you, let's go back where we came. I can't.
Yeah, you know, like if we take the other ship or burn the other ship, he really is just kind of trapped on this island. The gods will do what they will with him. If he lives, he lives. If he survives here on fish, perhaps he will see the error of his ways, being trapped here with all the people that he killed with all these skulls. So I'm gonna take. Well, actually, no, I won't. I'll leave the skulls. Our words should be good enough back in home. So.
Especially since you got the captain of that ship, Ambar. He's probably watching you with that. He's watching you with that telescope.
Kind of deal. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just kind of give like a nice big kind of wave with my spear, my big bloody spear from the ship, and kind of signal that we're kind of making our way back. And we'll take any gear and loot that we can with us. If
And I
anyone
believe
else
you
wants to
said
do
you,
anything.
But how could they see you waving a spear if it's a dark night, right?
I imagine
It's a
there's
full
some
moon.
moonlight. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember you said you wanted to burn their ship.
If possible. How big is their ship? Like, I imagine it's too big for us to. Or could we sail it back, perhaps? You said it's beach, though, right?
It's too big for 3 people to sail it, especially since one of those people has a
If
broken
it's too
leg.
big for 3 people to sail it, it's going to be too big for one person to sail it. So, well, then again, do we really want to leave one ship here in case they do come back? Anzo's kind of contemplating a little bit more gruffer than I am right now, but
And so, look at me.
he looks down at you. Yes.
Do you think that we should waste any more precious time here, or do you think that we should head back to our land.
No, you're absolutely right. He's gonna put his spear on his back and his shield on the back. He's gonna pick up Vornir because he's obviously injured. He's gonna be like, "Come on, young possum fox, let's go."
Let's go. And I'm gonna like enjoy the ride essentially. Free ride.
He's at least gonna keep you out of the water, being 7 foot tall. You're not gonna get wet, so that's the least about.
I'm gonna be obviously complaining whilst being carried because of the pain, but that's just my character.
Yeah. You guys are able to get back on the ship, and it's almost like it's getting to be quite late in the. Well, really, it's the small hours of the morning when you get back. Probably 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And despite the hour, there are a couple of people who are debating on your side, who are actually awaiting your return, and they seem pretty happy to see you.
We obviously greet them and say, "Hail! We have news. We have a captive. We have a rescuer or someone we have rescued, and we are in need of a temple for our friends here. They've been a little bit hurt and could use some recovery."
Yeah. So.
One of the. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, I've got Petronius. Well, let's see. Let's say Eve's character. I assume was he walking the? Was he like assisting Lubin's character? Like.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
Anso was probably
Anso
carrying
is
Vornir.
carried.
Yeah, I'm probably like escorting the captive. Seeing as
The one lesser man king who was saying that who was arguing on your side that there should be a rescue operation mounted. He's one of the people that greets you, and he says, "I believed in you. Now, my endeavors as a merchant have made me very wealthy in this life, and I was able to spare a pretty good sum to pay you all." And he gets out 30 ounces of copper for each of you, which, by the way, is probably quite a bit more than a day's worth of dangerous work would usually be worth. But he's going to pay each of you. And he also says, if you are all able to receive the stone's blessing, I will offer you one of my ships to get you from here to Andalanga. And from there, you can sail to Miklagard.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Your generosity
And I should
will be
introduce
forever
myself.
celebrated.
I am Khalid Kavurdson. It is good to meet you all.
Good to meet
Pleasure
you.
to meet you, Khalid.
It's Vornir.
Anzo.
Petronius.
And this
Vornir
is
Possum Wolf.
and this is our captive here that we haven't quite named yet.
Yes. He has a name, I presume.
My only request is that when you arrive in Miklagard, I have a letter for you to deliver to my son Hroth.
Okay.
And he'll hand it to Vornir. It's a very tightly bound scroll. He says, your discretion in it is appreciated because it contains It contains mercantile figures, margins of profit on certain expeditions and whatnot, trade secrets. And then, so you guys are escorted to a temple of Freyr, and over the course of probably the next few days, you guys are able to all get healed. Well, actually, it's probably about a week, and then Vornir's leg is better, and
Still
then
using
Petronius's kidney is, I'm gonna say recovered, because I'm not gonna, like I said, not gonna give you permanent injuries on the first session.
Right. So
There's time for that.
Oh, there's time for that, all right.
yeah, there's definitely. So yeah, Petronius is probably like in the week there that we're spending time at a temple of Freyr. He's probably in a very somber mood because obviously he used to be a bard of Freyr. So he probably spends a lot of time, like staring at like any sort of like icons of Freyr and just sulking and drinking.
I imagine Anzo's going to see this because he really hasn't had spent much time recovering. He's going to go up and he's going to just kind of tap him on the shoulders and be like, "Don't worry, the gods will see when you change your ways. I think it's already begun with the things we did back there. So
Yes.
I can only.
we will. The farther we get from Thule, the closer you will get to the gods. And then by the time you are back, I think we will all rejoice when we are back on Thulean lands."
Oh, and I'll say everyone gains 1 Haminya. I forgot
Thank
to
you,
say
good
that
sir.
earlier.
No, it's good. It's great for Mythmasters to throw that in there, especially for traditional Myfarog. It really helps.
I agree. I
Now,
think having could
on
be
the
good.
day of Noatun the 9th, it is everyone's recovered, and it's gonna be time to set sail on Khalid's ship and make your way to Andalanga. Now, before you do, obviously, you came to Highstead for a reason, to receive the blessing of the Stone of Destiny.
Yes.
So you are all led by a procession of chiefs and kings into the town square, and this is probably like late morning here, and the tide is just perfect for this, because there is, from the coast, there is like this little stretch of sand, and as you get closer, you see it's not sand. It's actually cobbled. It's actually cobbled like the Alfar way, but a lot of it is covered in sand, and it's this path that leads further into the burning sea. And as you walk that path, it comes into sight, this great brown stone, probably about 3 feet in diameter, or in diameter, and about a foot high. And as you come up to it, what's the marching order? Who's going first?
I'm going first. But
Right.
I'm using
Vornir,
my
are you
crutches.
wearing No, your leg is healed now.
Oh, it's healed. Oh, you said it was a week.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Oh, okay, so I
did
can
a bit of
step
a
on
time
it quite
cut.
comfortably. All right, all right.
Yep. You step on it, and the whole stone, it glows this deep red. Gain 250 experience as you go into this trance for a second, and you see yourself dashing through woods, and then you stop, and then you pull back a longbow, fire an arrow at your pursuers, and then you're running again, and then you're somewhere else. You're sailing a ship across briny waters. A storm is coming on, but you're holding on. And then you're in another place, and another place, and another place. It feels like it's been hours, but it's only been seconds. And you're back.
You gotta step on that thing more often, that's what I tell you. By the gods. Do step on it, my friends.
Petronius will step forward and put his hand on the stone.
Like kneel down and put his hand on it?
Yes.
It's only about a foot high, yeah. You feel like, again, it glows this deep red, and you probably feel quite a bit of affirmation because Petronius, he's very self-loathing, and the stone only glows when someone who is worthy to touch it does so. So you probably feel this affirmation, and then you go into this trance, and you relive the memories of previous lives, and you also gain 250 experience.
All right.
And I guess finally Anzo will step on after Petronius is done.
This stone is one of the few things that doesn't give out under your weight. It's so solid. It must be magic, because a stone of that size is not that strong.
I was going to say, even a big stone like that, Anzo was very carefully stepping onto it, like he was very unsure of this, but as soon as he feels that it's got more to it, there's something more to it than he can even fathom, he just feels comfortable and stands very tall and mighty on this pedestal of clearly something that's bigger than him, which is to say something considering how big he is.
Metaphorically speaking.
And Anso, he also sees these previous lives, these harrowing experiences, and he learns from them. Even your muscle memory is different when you reemerge. You also gain 250 experience, and the stone also glows a deep red. So I think that's where we'll leave it.
He's gonna gingerly step off the thing and look at everyone and say, "I think it's time to sail." But yeah, I think that's an excellent place to leave off.
You guys had a great comeback in that fight against the pirates. It was very surprising. I'm sure anyone who watches this.
Word reaches shore about the heroic people that never came back, and we had to start a new adventure party.
I thought I was going to die. Legitimate. When you said 21 to hit, I'm like, what? 30? I got 13 defense.
So that's where we're leaving it for today.
Yep, we can end the stream.
All right.